writing the last lines that these characters would ever say. It was really hard to do.
Leaked details reveal a Stranger Things spin-off is coming. 11 returns in ways fans never expected. After that jaw-dropping season 5 finale, fans are starving for more. This spin-off promises 11 and Hawkins as we've never seen.
I need you to talk to the others.
No.
I need you to thank them for me, for being so kind to me, and teaching me what it means to be a friend.
No, please don't do this. Please don't do.
And here's where it gets even stranger. 11 isn't just a memory in this spin-off, she's coming back, but not in the way you think. The creators were careful. Season 5 didn't just end, it set the stage. 11's sacrifice wasn't a full stop, it was a setup. Mike's perspective hints at the truth, she didn't die. With Kay's help, she slipped into the shadows and vanished from Hawkins, but didn't vanish from existence. The beauty here is the ambiguity. The story doesn't confirm her survival, but it leaves a door wide open. Imagine that. 11 alive somewhere. Untouchable, a ghost of possibility that keeps us guessing. And this is exactly why a direct sequel would have been a disaster. It would cheapen her moment, her choice, and the emotional weight of her disappearance. This spin-off dives into a different slice of time, a window before the collapse, letting us explore 11's story without rewriting the finale. It's clever, it's deliberate, and it's exactly the kind of twist Stranger Things fans live for. Just when you thought the threat was finally clear, Season 5 reverses the entire situation. Vecna? No, he was not the primary source of evil. He merely acted as the connection between the two worlds. The greatest threat was never him, it was something ancient, clever, and far more vile, the Mind Flayer. This is not a shrewd monster that takes children for a ride in Hawkins. Rather, it is intelligence, calculating, learning, gaining more hosts, and influencing people's opinions. It is a silent, parasitic, and absolutely terrifying killer. Think about the final battle. Demogorgons? Not unleashed. Why? Because sheer force isn't the point. Precision, manipulation, control, that's the weapon. The finale shows restraint, a methodical play, like the Mind Flayer doesn't need armies, and that's the core of the story. It's never been about monsters versus kids. It's about influence, cycles of control, and hidden forces we never realized we were serving. This is where spin-offs come in. They peel back the layers of misdirection, letting us see the bigger picture. They don't just add thrills, they show exactly when manipulation started and how deeply it shaped Hawkins, 11, and everyone we thought we knew.
Sometimes the quiet feels wrong.
You guys ever feel like it's not over?
And here's the spin-off that's got fans buzzing. Stranger Things, Tales from 85. Don't expect a season 6, this isn't a continuation. It's a companion story, set in the winter of 1985, tucked neatly between seasons 2 and 3. Hawkins hasn't hit its breaking point yet. The upside down is still lurking, but the town's scars aren't fully visible. Returning characters? Absolutely. 11, Mike, Will, Dustin, Lucas, Max, they're all there. Still kids, still discovering the edges of their world. But the threats? Totally new. Mysteries we never saw on the live action show. Supernatural oddities and dark corners of Hawkins waiting to be explored. One thing to note, Millie Bobby Brown won't voice 11 here. The original cast has grown up, and their voices wouldn't fit the 1985 versions of these kids. A new voice cast steps in, keeping the timeline intact and reinforcing that this is a separate story. The result? 11 exists in her younger self, alive in this timeline, while Season 5's finale still hits like a gut punch. It's the perfect balance, expanding the universe without touching what made that ending so powerful.
That's not Morse code. That's something else.
It's calling to us.
Why 1985? It's a sweet spot for storytelling. The kids are still just kids, the Upside Down hasn't yet unleashed chaos, and Hawkins feels smaller, more intimate, more experimental. The creators can play with tone, push imaginative stories, and let characters explore without the weight of apocalypse looming overhead. This period lets the spin-off breathe. It's lighter, more playful at times, but still eerie and tense. And critically, it doesn't undercut the emotional stakes of Season 5. Eleven's sacrifice, the finale's impact, all of it remains untouched. Matt and Ross Duffer were deliberate. The main series ends with purpose, a closed arc that respects the story's integrity. This spin-off isn't rewriting history, it's exploring corners we never got to see, offering fans more Hawkins, more 11, and more secrets, without ever cheapening what came before. That's a discipline that makes Stranger Things feel smart, thoughtful, and endlessly watchable. And here's what really hits. Season 5 wasn't just another chapter, it was the ending. Every arc, every choice, every battle was built to land, to resolve. The sacrifices weren't for show, they mattered. 11's disappearance, the final collapse of the Upside Down, the emotional closure for Mike, Will, and the rest, it all came together with purpose. But here's the clever part. Ambiguity. The finale doesn't spell out everything, it doesn't need to. That open space invites the audience to imagine, to wonder, without pulling the story back open. It's a rare move in a world obsessed with sequels and cliffhangers. The focus shifted too. This wasn't about who had the most power or the biggest fight, it was about absence over dominance, choosing what to let go of instead of what to control. Reflection replaced spectacle. Callbacks, mirrored imagery, repeated motifs. They weren't nostalgia, they were story loops closing themselves. By the end, perspective had changed. The kids weren't reacting upside down. They were reclaiming agency over their lives. And that's exactly why the finale landed so hard.
When we started talking about, was there anything else we want to do with Stranger Things? This was one of our first ideas.
And Stranger Things has never been just a show. Beyond Netflix, the universe has grown into novels, comics, games, and even a stage production that added real insight into Hawkins and its secrets. It's proof that this world is bigger than the episodes we watch. The beauty here is flexibility. Expanding doesn't mean repeating massive production or CGI-heavy battles. Spin-offs like Tales from 85 can explore untold stories, hidden corners of Hawkins, new threats, and familiar faces, all without recreating the spectacle of a 5-season finale. Hawkins and the Upside Down continue to exist beyond the main narrative. The show closed the central story, but the universe itself is still alive, breathing. There's room to explore, imagine, and dive deeper, and each project can feel fresh without touching the resolution of Season 5. It's a world with its own heartbeat, separate from any one story.
Evoke a feeling of an 80s cartoon.
With animation, there's really no limits. Eric and his team can just go wild.
And they have.
And they have.
And naturally, the fan speculation is at its highest. Is it possible that the stories will be centered around Dustin and Steve? Or are other kids from Brenner's experiments finally coming into the limelight? There is much to unearth regarding the Mind Flayer's origin, how its influence spread, or even a new generation coping with the dark history of Hawkins and its long-term consequences. The Duffers have said it straight. They don't want to make Stranger Things a never-ending franchise. Every new story must draw from a specific source, a purely non-nostalgic one. But the universe you are living in? It's roomy. There is still room for prequels, concomitant stories, and visiting other timelines, all without compromising the emotional impact of Season 5's finale. This is a very skilled maneuver to give fans more of Hawkins, more of 11, more riddles, but at the same time not to go back on the main series closure, which was so deliberately achieved. And that struggle between being final and being possible is frankly what makes Stranger Things still feel vibrant at the moment, even after it has pronounced its end. Along with this comes a community twist that fans have been talking about, a possible reunion special, perhaps after 10 years, but a new story or a plot continuation is not what one should expect. The idea is the Harry Potter 20th anniversary, a celebration, a reflection, an occasion to be with the characters and the universe without changing anything. The Duffers have made it very clear. Season 5 will be the last chapter of the story. A reunion does not mean rewriting the past, rather it is even for the past. It is a moment for the innovators and the enthusiasts to join in, to reminisce about Hawkins, the Upside Down, and the remarkable children with whom we grew up. It is a roller coaster of emotions, a symbol and a memory carefully crafted so that the two concepts coexist without conflict. Let's make it clear, There will not be a season 6. The Duffers chose season 5 very carefully as the conclusion, and the reason is pretty good. A 6th season would reopen conflicts that we already closed, and it would also dilute the characters' hard-earned growth and the emotional impact of the finale. The final destination was not a limit, it was a code of creativity. Ending the story at the right time mainly proved its weight, structure, and significance. Stranger Things did not just quit. It quit with purpose, offering the audience closure without making them feel rushed or incomplete. That is the reason the finale is such a big hit. Every decision, every sacrifice, every sorrow was counted, intentional, and left a trace that won't be erased.
I can feel it.
So why does something like Tales from 85 work so well? It's simple. It expands the universe without rewriting the main story. It's a smaller scale, more experimental, and gives the creators freedom to explore without touching Season 5's emotional stakes. Spin-offs like this let us see untold events, hidden corners of Hawkins, and perspectives we never experienced. We get more 11, more mysteries, and more of that eerie, nostalgic 1980s vibe while keeping the original story intact. Every arc, every sacrifice from the main series remains untouched. It's a delicate balance. These projects honor what came before while offering fresh content. They let fans revisit Hawkins, dive into the supernatural, and explore alternate timelines, all without cheapening the finale's impact. And that's the genius here. More story, more adventure, same emotional resonance. Stranger Things may have ended, but Hawkins, The Upside Down, and 11 still live in our imagination. Spin-offs like Tales from 85 keep the world alive while preserving the finality fans cherish. A perfect mix of nostalgia, mystery, and new adventure. So, what's your take? Drop it in the comments.